Today, a Michael Saves exclusive. Visible's longest-serving employee talks about the phone company's new unlimited plans.
We are attracting a very loyal customer.
Those challenges with customer service.
Well, yeah, it's a great question, and we have indeed had some challenges.
And what happens to legacy Visible customers who've had the Party Pay discount?
They can stay right where they are and continue to pay $25.
My conversation with Visible's Jeremy Bolton next.
Jeremy, I want to start with the new plans. You've got a couple of new plans that launched in August. One's $30 a month, the other $45 a month. And on the website, it recommends that $45 a month plan. So can you talk a little bit about why people should pay more for that plan, or maybe cases why they should not? What are the differences?
Yeah, good question. You know, the Visible Plus plan is the one that's $45 all in. That includes taxes and fees. So does the $30 one. But the $45 plan includes 5G ultra wideband access and 50 gigabytes of premium network access. So, you know, if you are a Visible member and you are experiencing, you know, slow network experience, the $45 plan is going to give you that prioritized data that can give you the better sort of download speeds and upload speeds that you would be looking for outside of the basic $30 plan. So that is the main difference for most of our customers. It's getting that premium network access, and that's on not only is it on 5G, but it's also on 4G. So even if you don't have a 5G capable phone, you are going to benefit with the $45 plan. It's also for people who call globally or text globally and go to Canada or Mexico because it includes roaming.
With all these low-cost services, I think I've tried about 15 of these phone plans at this point. People always ask me, okay, the pricing sounds great, but what is the catch? So what I tried to do is educate people on the pros and cons of all the plans. And I've got three things I want to go through with you specifically about Visible. First would be the network experience, customer service, and then phone deals. Mm-hmm. So you touched on this just a moment ago as far as the network experience. Can you explain to people who aren't familiar with the terminology how deprioritization works with a carrier like Visible?
I mean, it's a very complex technical process that probably an engineer should ultimately explain. But the basic idea is that a wireless network is a network, and when there's a lot of people on it, the overall capacity of the network is used up, and so everybody's experience gets slowed down. And the way it works in the industry is the postpaid carriers tend to get the priority over the prepaid carriers. And so, in a situation, typically, at busy times of the day, if you are on a prepaid plan, you are going to get deprioritized and you're going to experience slower speeds. So that's kind of how deprioritization works. It's nothing that we're doing intentionally to slow somebody down because of anything they're doing. It's something that's happening, in the broader environment in which they are. And again, that's why our $45 plan gets you that priority access the same as a postpaid plan. And that's why we think it's worth the extra $15 for people who do experience deprioritization, here and there.
And the other thing I want to ask you about is video streaming quality. Is there a difference between the Visible Plus plan and the base Visible plan? Because I know with the base plan, it's 480p.
We have, 480p video for both plans.
Okay.
And also the legacy Party Pay plan as well.
And I understand with these new plans, there's also been changes to roaming, and this is something that a lot of people had expressed interest in. Can you explain how roaming works with the new plans?
Domestic roaming?
Yes.
The difference is the new Visible plans have extended coverage because we have access to Verizon's LRA networks. And so, if you live in a particular area where that's an issue, with the new Visible plans, you're going to have better network coverage.
There's also a free trial for Visible. Is that on the $30 a month plan, or is that for the $45 a month plan?
It is for the $30 a month plan. That is the experience you're getting when you do the Visible free trial.
And someone who's interested in trying out the network, maybe they're still unsure about it, how does that free trial process work for them?
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing. Like most digital services, there's a free trial and you can go. And the great thing about the Visible free trial is that, you don't even have to have your credit card. So you just go and you download the app, you go through the process, make sure your phone is compatible. You get an eSIM profile downloaded to your phone, and then you have 15 days to experience what amounts to our $30 Visible plan.
I want to ask you a few questions about customer service, because there are customers who, in this transition to these new plans, they checked the coverage maps. They made sure that their phone was compatible, but they still had issues getting up and running with one of these two new plans. You acknowledged this a few months ago on Twitter. So I'm wondering what's happened in those few months. Has there been any progress made? And is there an explanation for people as to what really happened behind the scenes with these activation issues and some eSIM issues as well?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. And we have indeed had some challenges. What I would say is that, and this has happened a couple of times in our history, but we are growing faster than we are able to keep up with. And when we launched our new plans in August, we also introduced a process to Visible that hadn't existed before. And that is existing members going from one plan to another. So when you take the added volume from the fact that we launched these new plans that were well received in the market, and you combine that with the fact that we have a new process at Visible for customers going from one plan to another, it just overwhelmed our customer care agents. And we do have live human support behind the chats. And so that's kind of what people ran into. They ran into that challenge, and that was on us. Since then, we've increased our agent headcount by roughly 25% just over the last 30 days, and we're going to continue to scale as we prepare for growth and the further member migrations that we expect in 2023. We've also evolved our service model so that members facing the most complex challenges can get real-time escalated support without waiting for us to contact them back. And our wait times have gone from, quite frankly, long and unacceptable to just minutes today. So we're very pleased with the processes and improvements that we've made, both process-wise and technologically.
When it comes to any of these phone services, I think the expectation of the customer is that they're going to be able to keep their phone number. They're going to be able to keep their phone if they want to, or have one to purchase, and that the transition from their old carrier to the new one is going to be seamless, no interruption in service. How are they going to know that, okay, I feel confident that Visible has the capacity of support staff to make sure that my switch to Visible goes seamlessly?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question, given the challenges that we've had after we launched the new plans and the volume that we got. The first thing I would say is that, we have invested heavily in customer care. Like I just said, we've increased our agent headcount by 25%. So we are ready for the increased volume of people joining Visible. The other thing I would say is, I would come and I would do the free trial. That's the best way to get started, to make sure that your phone is compatible, that you have coverage where you live and where you work, and just to make sure that the service operates as your old one is, and hopefully better. So that's how I would think about that. And then when you're finally ready to make the transition, like I said, we have the agents ready to help you, port your number over and keep your phone, or we have a new trade-in program. You can trade in your phone. So there's a lot of options, and we're very confident that we can handle, any new customer who wants to join us.
I want to talk a little bit now about the phone deals. One thing that I found really interesting in the low-cost carrier space is that people sometimes have a hard time grasping the value of it. They will see what we mentioned earlier, the low plan price, but then because you're not getting a free brand new iPhone or Samsung Galaxy, they just stick with whatever provider they've had. Visible does offer phone deals. So can you explain how Visible's phone deals work?
Yeah, I mean, we have phone deals for people who come and join us. Typically it is in the form of a gift card, depending on the device that you buy. We are confident at Visible in giving those deals out because the customers who come to Visible generally stay. And that's the economic decision that carriers have to make. How much of a deal can I give based on how long this customer is going to stay with us? And quite frankly, without getting specific, Visible is able to offer the phone deals that we are because we have, members who come and stay with us for a long time. And so over the 4 years that we've been around, we've been able to refine the deals that we can offer. And so we're confident and happy that we can make the deals on the phones that we can.
And they have evolved a little bit over time. I think when I
Mhm.
checked most recently, now it requires new customers to transfer their number, stay with 3 months, and then they get whatever that promotion is. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's correct. They have to port in their number and make 3 payments. And so that's actually, it's not quite 3 months. It's, they make their first payment on day 1, then day 30, and then day 60. So yeah. Mhm.
And can people who take advantage of that free trial also take advantage of the phone deals, or is there only offer that free trial?
Yes, after they're done with the free trial, they can take advantage of those phone deals.
I want to ask you a couple questions about existing customers. People who were on the legacy Visible plan, it was $40 a month. Some of them were paying $25 a month because of this group discount you had called Party Pay. What can you tell me about what's next for those customers?
Well, what I would say to the Party Pay members on the Visible Unlimited plan who are paying $25 is they can stay right where they are and continue to pay $25. There will not come a time where we are going to ask them to pay more than $25.
Is there going to be a time when they are going to have to upgrade to the new network?
We have nothing planned right now, but here's what I would tell you, Michael. We are seeing the customers migrate from the old Visible Unlimited plan to the new Visible or Visible Plus plans. That's happening at a rapid clip. And as we talked about earlier, that's one of the things that's contributing to some of the customer care challenges we've had. Combined with that, when new customers join Visible, they're only able to join on Visible and Visible Plus. So what we are going to see over time, not soon, but over time, is we are going to see that old network have fewer and fewer customers on it. So there's going to come a time, logically, when it doesn't make sense to continue to operate that network. But we have no plans to force anybody to do anything. And I want to be very clear. People who are paying $25 right now are not going to ever be forced to pay any more than $25. And if they are comfortable paying $25 with the network experience they have right now on the Party Pay plans, they should stay right there.
For the people who are on the legacy Visible Unlimited plan, are there any cases where they're having to purchase a new phone to get over to the new plans because of the changes in the network experience? Or are they going to be able to keep their phone and also upgrade?
The vast majority of people on the Visible Unlimited plans, the Party Pay plans, are going to be able to keep their phone if they want to migrate over to one of the new plans. There are some edge cases where people will have phones that are not compatible with the new plans. And in that case, we have, as I mentioned earlier, we have a recently launched trade-in program. We have some low-cost device options. And we're also going to have, going forward, some other programs to help them, migrate over to the new plans.
We talked a little bit about the phone deals earlier, and those deals are primarily for new customers. Some of the major wireless networks, they are starting to offer incentives for existing customers. And since Visible's been around for a few years now, and some of these customers have been very loyal to Visible, do you see any time in the future where there may be some sort of an offer for people who have been loyal to Visible to get maybe a little bit of a discount on a new device?
So, the first thing I would say to that is I would reference the trade-in program. The trade-in program is available not only to new members, but also to existing members. So that is kind of how I think about that. I have nothing to announce today, but, we certainly would be looking to find a way to help our loyal members, upgrade their phone, in addition to the upgrade program that we already have in place.
Have you been with Visible since the very beginning? Is that correct?
I am the longest serving Visible employee, and I was the person with the blank sheet of paper saying, hey, what should we do?
In the years since Visible's launch, what do you think is maybe the biggest thing or two that you've learned about the Visible customer during that time?
I think a couple of things have surprised me. We are attracting a very loyal customer compared to what you generally see in prepaid. And as I noted before, that's kind of, playing out in some of the phone deals that we're able to offer. The other thing is, the quality of the customer. We offer 0% financing through Affirm. And, the quality of the customer we get, not only in terms of tenure, how long they're staying, but also in terms of their credit quality is quite high. And the other thing is we are focused exclusively on attracting customers who are very comfortable operating digitally. They kind of live their life through apps. They think, okay, hey, I need a car. Let me, open this app. I need a meal. Let me open this app. And that's how Visible was conceived. I need wireless service. Let's open, this app. And so we are, skewing massively toward millennial and Gen Z customers, but anybody who's comfortable operating digitally, and that includes me, and I'm not in either of those two groups. We're seeing great success with anybody who is very comfortable with using apps to solve their problems and to save money.
Jeremy, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, Michael, thank you very much.
Please give this video a like if you found it helpful, and I'm sorry if I couldn't get to your question. I tried to get as many of them in as possible in the time allowed.